Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. How are we all? I'm very grateful to have you here. My name is T and I've lost just over £55 and today we're going to be getting into what people don't really talk about on your fat loss journey and the dark sides of fat loss, shall we say. I kind of wanted to dive into the challenges that I had along my journey, and just if you are someone that's on your fat loss journey, maybe prepare you for some of the same things that I went through. And if you can relate to me along this video, be sure to drop a comment and let me know what your experiences have been too. So let's just rewind it back a little bit, okay? Let's just hold up, run it back. I am someone that has lost £55. And I wanted to talk about some of the things that I've experienced along my fat loss journey because as someone who grew up overweight, I never actually knew what it was like to be in a smaller body for a prolonged period of time. So I've been up and down with my weight a lot of the time, especially growing up. I would have yo-yo dieted a lot, like I would have been overweight, then I would have lost a little bit, then I would have gained it back again. It was always back and forward. And since being someone that existed in a larger body and then being someone that exists in a smaller body, I did notice some changes and maybe just some things that I wanted to talk about a little bit more. So today I'm going to get into 5 sides of fat loss that maybe aren't spoke about just enough. Number 1, coming in hot and heavy with the fact that people will treat you differently. One thing I definitely noticed existing in a larger body in comparison to existing in a smaller body is you do get treated differently, and that is just the bottom line. And I think a lot of people that have been on fat loss journeys can also relate to this as well. I spoke to some of my friends about this. You do genuinely get treated differently, and it is kind of shit and it's sad because you're the exact same person, right? So I was the exact same person when I was £240 to who I am now. I'm still Trez, it's still me, it's still my personality. I just look differently, and yeah, I've got different habits and I do things a little bit differently. But me as a person, me as Therese, I'm still the same human being. I just looked differently, and I definitely noticed a shift, and I noticed how people would treat you differently based on how I looked, which is crazy. For example, just little things like people would compliment you more, people may be nicer to you, the way they speak to you. I didn't feel like I was getting looked at, stared at, judged anymore. Someone might hold the door open for me now this time. Even when it came to my dating life and that side of things, I found that I was getting attention that I had never got before, and that's a very new feeling. And yeah, I guess I would definitely say a big difference in how I seen that kind of side of things shift, that I gained more attention when I existed in a smaller body and people were more prone to giving me compliments, especially in the dating side of things. However, it wasn't always maybe you got treated nicer. I found that especially maybe with some friendships, people don't like the fact that you're leveling up, right? People don't like the fact that you're getting your shit together. People don't actually like the fact that you're looking a little bit better, that the waist is snatched, that you're looking good. Some of your friendships, or so-called friendships, they actually maybe don't like that, and you might notice a shift in some energy with some people, with some friendships, and it could be like snidey, snooty little comments and comments that are disregarding, the work that you're putting in. And it wasn't always a positive shift in regards to people treated you differently. People could actually treat you differently in a negative light because they're insecure with the fact that you're actually trying to better yourself. And I guess it's a little strange because I think throughout my weight loss journey, you really do start to see who's got your back, who's there for you fully, like who supports you for you, or who maybe isn't. Do you know what I mean? So number 1, you get treated differently based on the body that you have, and that is just a sad reality that we are living in. People will treat you differently based on the body that you have, and that's my experience. Moving on to number 2, I actually started feeling colder a lot more of the time, which is, when you logically think about it, yeah, it makes sense because you have less fat on your body, but it wasn't something that I actually thought was going to happen. I actually had to think about it. In the winter, your gal is cold. Like, I've got less meat on my bones, do you know what I mean? I feel the cold so much more because it's almost like I've got less insulation. So you better be ready to wrap up, get your coats on, get your scarf on, all that jazz, because you're going to feel the cold just that little bit more, especially when you lose a large amount of weight. And guys, I'm about to go ahead and get into tip number 3, but if you are enjoying this video so far, please be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything out, and leave a comment below to let me know if you're resonating with anything that I'm saying. Okay, now getting back to the video, number 3 is the lonely period, and I genuinely don't think this is spoke about enough, and I don't hear enough people speaking about it, especially creators and on social media. No one prepares you for how fucking lonely going on this journey can be and how it can feel, especially when you do a complete 180, because a lot of time fat loss for people isn't just about losing fat, it's a complete and utter life change. Like, you are doing a whole 180 with your life. It's not just your body that you're changing, it's your habits, it's your mentality, it's your routines, it's your relationship with food, it's how you show up, it's the people that you're hanging around. You do a complete shift with your life. It's literally not just about the aesthetic, it's not just about losing the weight. In order to lose this fat, you are having to become a new individual, and there can be something so lonely about that whenever you are navigating this new period of who you are. Maybe you're finding that the friendships you have or the environment that you're in isn't no longer serving you anymore, and the people that you're maybe surrounded by don't quite get what you're trying to do, they're not supporting you, and it's making things hard in your journey because you can feel like you're on your own a lot of the time. You're having to go to the gym by yourself, you're having to go for your walks by yourself, everyone in your house is getting takeaway and you're having to make your own food and count your calories and whatever it might be. It can be really fucking hard because you know you're doing this for a long-term goal that you've got in mind, right? But what nobody speaks about is the fact that oftentimes we're having to do this by ourselves. We're the ones that are having to make these decisions 24/7 by ourselves. We're the ones that are showing up day in, day out for ourselves, and it can feel really lonely and isolating, especially when you don't have those supportive friendships or relationships around you just yet. That period of loneliness where it can just feel like it's you with you, it can be really, really challenging. However, what I will say is definitely lean into that period if you're going through it. I went through this on my journey before I found a new environment and new friendships that kind of served my journey and supported my goals. I went through a period of time where I did feel alone a lot of the time, but that actually allowed me to learn so much about myself on my fat loss journey. It didn't just allow me to learn things about food and nutrition, but it actually allowed me to learn things about me, like what I liked and what I like to do, and it allowed me to kind of really delve into my self-love era, shall we say, and really getting to work on me. So if you are going through that period right now, just know that it's not going to last forever, but lean into it as best you can, and spending time with yourself is totally okay, and it's actually amazing to do that. But you also have to ensure that if the current friendships and environments aren't serving you along your journey, you have to then actively go and find ones that are going to serve you, because I cannot tell you the difference it makes to have people that are in your corner, people that support you, people that are clapping for you whenever you make progress, and people that you can actually speak to about your goals without feeling like they're getting shot down. You want to have people in your corner that are like, yes, let's fucking do this, you've got this, I'm so proud of you. There's such a massive difference with having people around you that aren't supporting your goals in comparison to people that are. So I would 100% say for number 3, if you are in that lonely period right now, just know that it gets better, but you also have to actively go and find people that are going to support your journey with you. Moving swiftly on to step number 4 is the mental battles that you can have with your brain trying to catch up with the new you. And I think this can be a really challenging one because your brain is having to catch up with the fact that you're changing so much. Your brain is used to who you once used to be. Your brain is used to comfortability. Your brain is used to looking at the same reflection in the mirror every day. And when you do begin to change those things, for me anyway, it took my brain a little while to catch up, and the mental battle that I had, especially with my body image and body dysmorphia a lot of the time, was wild. Like, I knew I was putting in all this work, I knew I was losing weight, but I looked in the mirror and I still saw that girl that was 240 pounds, and it was mentally exhausting and fatiguing. It was horrible to know that I was putting in all this work but I wasn't quite yet seeing and reaping the rewards of it. But that's where you have to keep going, because in those moments it can be easy to fall back into comfortability because your brain's not actually believing that you maybe are who you say you are yet, and it's not quite registering with the fact that, oh hey, we've actually changed. However, that's where you have to keep pushing on. Those mental battles, those struggles, especially with body image, the limiting beliefs that you're going to have in your brain, that little shitty voice that's always going to be there. I don't know if it ever actually fully goes away, but you just get more equipped to deal with it. So the more you can resist that little voice, the more you can fight back against what your brain is trying to get you to believe. Your brain will try and trick you. The more you can fight back and you can be like, you know what, actually not listening to you today. That's when it gets easier to manage it and actually maintain it. It's not as if it ever goes away. Like, still to this day, I have that voice in my head, but I'm better equipped to know how to firstly respond to it, but also to be like, you're talking shit today, because I know who I am, I know what I've done, I've got the work and the evidence to support it. So what I will say is when you are going through those mental challenges of weight loss, just ride the wave, maybe lean into doing things like journaling, speaking to someone, going for a walk, whatever your outlet is going to be sure to find it and work through those mental barriers, because that's where your progress then will thrive. And last but not least, number 5, this one's really wholesome and quite sad in a way. But for me, it was mourning the loss of who I once used to be. And this is crazy sometimes when I say this to people, but you genuinely become a brand new individual. That's what I said in I can't remember, was it like step 2 or 3? But anyway, you are becoming a new individual because you change so much about your life. Especially when you embark this huge journey of transformation, you change everything. So who I once used to be, that version is no longer with me anymore. I am no longer her because I have changed everything about my life. I've changed everything about who I am, about how I show up, about how I treat myself. And you almost have to mourn the loss of that version of yourself. And it's quite sad, but it's wholesome at the same time, because how beautiful is it that you've become this new version of you, that standing in front of you is a version that you have sculpted and worked on and shaped to who you want to be. But sometimes I do sit and I'll look back at pictures and I'll look back at videos of who I once used to be and how crazy I was, and the fact that I just didn't give a shit about things and I was so carefree. But I know at that time I was also going through some really hard, shitty, tricky situations. But I look back and I'm like, you know what? I miss her. And I'm so proud of everything that she did, and I wish I could go back and speak to that version of me. So I guess for number 5, the darker part of weight loss is the fact that you are saying bye to a version of you that you've maybe lived with for a really long time. But the beautiful side of that is that without that version, you couldn't have had the new version. Do you know what I mean? So I think that was a hard part for me, was actually recognizing that that version of me was gone, but I needed her to go through everything she was going through in order to get me to where I was today. And that is all from me with today's video, guys. Just a reminder that I do offer one-to-one weight loss coaching. We've helped hundreds of individuals on their journey of fat loss to do this shit sustainably. So if you are interested, I'm going to leave the link in my description below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, you took something useful from this video, you resonated with this video, please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!